We're doing a couple things for Thanksgiving, so for this episode we're gonna do stuffing. So we melted 2 sticks of butter. We have a cup of chopped celery and a cup of onions in there, and we're gonna cook that until it's tender. We also are gonna soften some raisins. Roger loves raisins in his stuffing, so put a cup in there. We're gonna finish the stuffing, so I like Pepperidge Farm herb stuffing mix. We're gonna put that in this bag with 6 cups of cubed breadcrumbs. And we're gonna shake it up a little bit. And our celery and onions are done. So we're gonna put that in there too. I can't lift it. Turkey broth. And we're going to shake it up. Get it all mixed up. So if you do it in a bag, you can make it the day before, but you need to be sure you keep it in the refrigerator. Speaking of refrigerator, you might want to check your temperature, your refrigerator every now and then. It shouldn't be any warmer than 40 degrees. I keep mine at 38. Okay, add the raisins. Mix it up again. Put it in this baking dish. Slick as a whistle. Perfect. You can bake that at 350 until it's 165. We're gonna make turkey rouladen. So we took part of the stuffing, and this time we're gonna put some dried cranberries in it. And we're gonna snip a little bit of sage. That's enough. So you can go to the grocery store, and if they have a meat department, you can ask them to do this for you. So it's 2 turkey breasts. And with things the way they are today, you might not want to do a whole turkey. Just do a turkey breast. So we're going to put some of the stuffing right down the middle. And we're going to roll it up. It might not be perfect, but we're going to tie it. So we're going to tie this. we're going to come down here. Whoops. We're going to tie it again. Then we're going to come down here. So that's it.
So how long are we going to want to bake this, Mamaw?
Well, probably an hour, but we need to make sure it gets to 165. We can't even mash potatoes without gravy. So, this is something you can do. Put it in quart jars. And I cooked turkey wings, turkey back, things like that. I baked them yesterday in the oven until they were good and brown. Then I put them in 6 quarts of water with carrots and celery and onions. Cooked it down. Now, you can buy gravy mix, but it won't be as good as this. The broth is boiling, so we're going to make thickening with cornstarch. And since most people don't do this, but since the broth was cold, instead of using water, I used more broth. Now we're gonna turn that down a little. We're gonna add this. And we're gonna cook it. So we have the turkey roulade and our stuffing and gravy. The stuffing and the turkey were in the oven about 45 minutes, but you need to temp it. It needs to be 165. So let's talk about turkey a little bit. If you buy a frozen turkey, you need to remember that it's 9.5% water. So if you pay $40 for 15-20 pound turkey, just remember that 9.5% of it's water. So I suggest that you buy a fresh turkey. If you buy a frozen turkey, you need to remember it takes 24 hours to thaw 5 pounds. And you need to thaw them in your refrigerator. So they have some things like don't rinse your turkey. Well, I disagree with it because I think everybody in today's world with the virus, you know how to sanitize your kitchen. So I suggest that you rinse your turkey with salt water. Make sure all the things that they put in the cavity are out of there. I suggest that you cut the neck piece off where they've hung it or tucked it under because you don't need that. And we have fried, there's probably more turkey recipes out there than anything else. We fried them, we put them in a bag, we roll them, we bake them, we do all kinds of things with them. So this year, you ought to try the turkey roulade because 9 chances out of 10, you're not going to have this many people to your house. They're easy to make. At the meat department in the grocery store, you could ask them to cut the breasts off and pound them for you, or you can do it yourself, which is what we did, but we don't have that on film. It used to be that everybody stuffed the turkey with dressing, but don't do that. Make your dressing, put it in a pan, bake it by itself, because the temperature of the turkey is always at 165 before the dressing. We don't want you to get sick. Want to make sure that your turkey's temped at 165. You need to take it out of the oven and let it rest 15 minutes before you cut it. You need to put leftovers away, right? Not right after, but don't leave them out more than 2 hours because the bacteria grows between 40 degrees and 140 degrees. So a 12-pound turkey will feed 8 people. So judge how many guests you're going to have and how big a turkey that you need. The leftovers can be left in the refrigerator no longer than 4 days. And a little tidbit, remember when we all had the electric knives to cut turkey, cut meat? You don't see that many of them anymore, but the person that invented those was 15 years old, and they were invented in 1960, and by 66 he'd sold $1 billion worth. That's a tidbit for today. Thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving. See you next week. Recipes are on the website.
Okay, well.
Break.